It was just past midnight in the Gulf of Mexico. The ocean stretched out like a dark, endless mirror, silent except for the distant hum of a U.S. Navy destroyer cutting through the waves. On the radar screen inside the command room, a faint blip appeared, small, fast, and moving erratically. "Captain, unidentified vessel approaching from the south," the radar officer said, his voice sharp. Captain Ryan Cole leaned forward, eyes narrowing at the screen. "Range?" he asked. 10 nautical miles and closing," came the reply. Cole gave a slow nod. "Bring us to alert condition 2. Eyes on target." Moments later, the destroyer's searchlights cut through the night. The beams swept across the waves until they landed on a small, high-speed boat painted black, skimming over the water. It was the kind of vessel the Navy had seen before, the kind smugglers and cartels used for drug runs. But this one was different. "Sir," said the intel officer, "we're getting chatter from drone surveillance. This isn't just a smuggling op. It's a heavily armed cartel strike boat, mounted turrets, high-caliber weapons." Captain Cole's jaw tightened. The Navy wasn't in these waters for a random patrol. They'd been tracking a cartel network suspected of moving not just drugs, but stolen military tech. And now, one of their boats was right in front of them. "Send a warning transmission," Cole ordered. "They get one chance." The radio operator broadcasted the message, "Unidentified vessel, this is the United States Navy. Stop immediately and prepare to be boarded." No response. Instead, the cartel boat accelerated, slicing through the waves straight toward the destroyer. Cole slammed his hand on the console. "Weapons hot. Fire a warning flare." A red streak shot into the sky, lighting the ocean in a crimson glow. For a brief moment, everyone could see the cartel crew, masked, armed, and fearless. Then, flashes erupted from their boat. Tracer rounds zipped across the water. "Return fire," Cole shouted. The destroyer's deck guns thundered, lighting the sea with bursts of orange fire. The sound was deafening, chaos mixed with precision. The cartel boat swerved hard, one of its engines smoking. But instead of retreating, it kept charging forward. Cole could hardly believe it. "They're not backing down," he muttered. And then something unexpected happened, something that none of them saw coming. The night erupted into chaos. The cartel boat, engulfed in smoke and gunfire, darted dangerously close to the destroyer. Through the thermal scope, Petty Officer Diaz could see the men aboard frantically moving, one aiming a launcher, another shouting into a headset. "Sir, they've got a shoulder-fired missile," Diaz yelled. Before Captain Cole could respond, a fiery streak launched from the cartel boat, slicing through the darkness. It struck the destroyer's port side. A loud explosion rocked the deck, sending a shower of sparks into the air. Sailors hit the ground as alarms blared. "Damage control, now!" Cole barked. The bridge shook again as water sprayed across the glass. "Minor hull damage, sir." "We're holding steady," someone reported. Cole's jaw clenched. "Enough of this. Target their engines. Disable that boat." The destroyer's autocannons roared, their rhythmic thunder echoing across the sea. One by one, rounds tore through the cartel vessel, shattering metal and ripping through its hull. Flames licked up from the stern. But then, something strange happened. Through the smoke, a figure on the cartel boat stood up, waving something in the air, a blinking beacon light. Seconds later, the radar officer shouted, "Multiple fast-moving signals approaching, from the east." Cole turned sharply. More boats. 4, maybe 5. All moving in formation. The captain's blood ran cold. "It's an ambush." The destroyer shifted course, engines roaring, as drones were launched from the deck to scout the threat. On screen, live footage appeared, 5 cartel boats speeding toward them, each loaded with heavy weapons and armored plating. "This wasn't a smuggling run," Cole muttered. "They planned this." Down below, the crew worked frantically to reload the guns. The air smelled of fuel, metal, and salt. The first cartel wave opened fire, bullets sparking off the destroyer's hull. The Navy crew fought back with precision, bursts of fire cutting through the night like thunder. Then suddenly, a flash underwater. "Sir. Sonar's picking up movement, something beneath us." Cole's eyes widened. "A submarine? Too small for that, maybe a drone." Before he could finish, a violent blast shook the destroyer again, this time from below. The floor heaved, alarms screamed, and the lights flickered. Cole steadied himself against the railing. What the hell was that? And as the smoke cleared, one horrifying truth became visible on the screen. something metallic and unknown was rising from beneath the waves. The ocean boiled with bubbles and smoke as the massive shape emerged. At first, it looked like a broken piece of wreckage, twisted steel, blackened from fire. But then, the structure shifted. It was moving under its own power. "Sir, it's not debris," said Diaz, his voice trembling. "It's a vessel, but it's not one of ours." Captain Cole leaned over the main console, eyes fixed on the live drone feed. The object was enormous, half-submerged, with angular plating and no visible markings. Then, out of the water rose a small tower with a red light blinking at its tip. Cole felt his pulse quicken. "That's not cartel tech, that's military grade." The communications officer turned from her station. "But whose, sir?" "It's not American, no signal, no transponder, nothing." The mysterious craft began to glide closer, silent and deliberate. Even the cartel boats paused their attack, drifting at a distance as if they, too, were unsure what they were seeing. One of the cartel radios crackled through the destroyer's comms intercept. "Dios mío, it's not them. Pull back. Pull back." Before anyone could react, the unknown vessel opened fire. A stream of brilliant blue light shot across the sea, striking one of the cartel boats. In an instant, it exploded into a fireball that lit up the horizon. The bridge fell silent. The U.S. destroyer and the remaining cartel boats were frozen, enemies now united in confusion and fear. "Raise electronic shields," Cole ordered, "and try to establish contact. Whatever that thing is, it just changed the battlefield." The comms officer sent a transmission. "Unidentified vessel, this is the United States Navy. You are entering restricted waters. Identify yourself immediately." No response. Only a strange low-frequency hum, deep enough to rattle the windows. "Sir, radar interference increasing," the technician called out. "It's jamming our systems." Then the hum intensified. Every screen on the destroyer flickered, static replacing the radar. Outside, the sea began to glow faintly, as if lit from below. The men on deck stared over the rail, watching shapes move in the water beneath the unknown craft. Cole whispered, "This isn't cartel. This isn't human tech." Moments later, the mysterious vessel fired again, but this time, not at the cartel. The beam struck the destroyer's mast, disabling communications completely. Sparks rained down on the crew. "Power to backup systems." Cole shouted, but before the crew could respond, the strange craft's red light began pulsing faster, almost like a heartbeat. And then, over the radio, a voice none of them recognized crackled through the static. The bridge went silent. Every man froze. Then the voice continued, calm and mechanical. "But you are now in the way." The voice echoed through the bridge speakers, metallic and cold. Every sailor stood frozen, the only sound the faint hum of engines and the distant crackle of burning debris on the waves. Captain Cole gripped the console so hard his knuckles turned white. "Get that translation running," he barked. "Where the hell is that transmission coming from?" "Everywhere, sir," said the comms officer, panic in her eyes. "It's not on any known frequency. It's projecting directly through our systems." Cole steadied his breath. "Then we fight." Outside, the strange vessel shifted position, circling the destroyer like a predator testing its prey. The ocean glowed under its hull, casting eerie blue ripples that shimmered across the steel deck. The cartel boats tried to retreat, but the unknown craft fired again, precise, merciless. Two more explosions tore through the night, scattering debris across the sea. "Sir, if we don't move now, we're next," Diaz shouted. Cole gave a single nod. "Helm, full speed ahead. Prepare all missiles, manual targeting if we have to." The destroyer surged forward, engines roaring, smoke trailing in its wake. The weapons crew scrambled into position, manually calibrating the tomahawks. "Target locked," someone yelled. "Fire." The missiles launched in succession, streaking through the sky like burning comets. They slammed into the unknown vessel, a blinding explosion ripped through the sea. The bridge windows flashed white. For a moment, it looked like they had destroyed it. But then the smoke cleared. The object was still there, damaged, yes, but alive. The red light blinked again, slower this time. "Adaptive defense confirmed," the robotic voice said, cold and almost curious. "Impressive technology, for your species." Cole's heart pounded. This isn't possible. The strange vessel began to sink, not destroyed, but diving. "It's leaving," Diaz shouted. Cole stared out into the dark water. "No," he said quietly. "It's retreating." The radar flickered back to life. The cartel boats were gone, either destroyed or vanished into the night. The mysterious craft disappeared beneath the surface, leaving behind only silence and waves that glowed faintly for a few seconds before fading away. The destroyer floated there, engines rumbling softly, the crew dazed. Finally, Cole spoke into the comms. "All stations, stand down. Begin rescue and recovery." He looked at the ocean one last time. Whatever that was, it wasn't Cartel. And it sure as hell wasn't from this world. Hours later, as dawn broke over the Gulf, the Navy received a secure transmission, marked Eyes Only. It contained a single satellite image, the unknown vessel reappearing hundreds of miles away, moving toward international waters. At the bottom of the message, a note from Naval Intelligence. Unidentified contact confirmed. Not a drone. Not human-made. Awaiting further instructions. Captain Cole stared at the screen, silent. Then he whispered, almost to himself. "This war just changed, and we weren't even ready for it."